Peter, we've seen press conferences, and there's all sorts of tells, and the deep breath by Sean McVay. Whew, like, man, how am I going to answer this question without saying what I really think about Jared Goff?
How am I going to answer this question that I knew was coming?
Yeah,
I still can't figure it out. I've been thinking about it for 2 days.
Yeah. God, hey, that's, anytime it starts with whew, you know what comes next is going to be entertaining, but maybe not that all enlightening. Hey, and I appreciate that these coaches and general managers are doing media availability on their own. They otherwise would be doing it at the combine. It would be a much more organic and realistic background than whatever they put together on Photoshop and put behind McVay. But yeah, look, they got rid of Jared Goff, and he was far more candid about Jared Goff before he traded him. You'd think now he'd take the gloves off. I mean, they were throwing the guy under the bus repeatedly late last year. It was stunning, the stuff Sean McVay was saying about Jared Goff. I'm surprised that all of a sudden he's being guarded with his words.
I mean, why would he say, for instance, let's just say,
he gains nothing.
Sean
he gains
McVay,
nothing at this point.
He gains nothing by it. He gains nothing by it. So, in other words, you can, and plus, I believe that Sean McVay feels bad about what happened. Because remember, Mike, right after he signed his own ridiculously large extension, he approved, well nigh pushed to be joined at the hip with Jared Goff. He cost Stan Kroenke a crap load of money, that wasn't particularly well spent as we've looked at the last 2 years. Okay? But so he spent a huge amount of money. And now he brings in another quarterback. And I'm just saying that he better be right with Stafford. Because if he's not right with Stafford, the next quarterback he goes to Stan Kroenke and says, oh, we need 3 number ones or whatever. We need this to go get this quarterback. And if we get him, there's the final piece. Kroenke is going to look at him, being the businessman that he is, and says, are you really the man I thought you were? Honestly. And so, look, and they are not there yet. They are not close to being there because I believe, you believe, we all believe that Matthew Stafford's going to be really good with the Rams. So I don't think it's going to come to that. But all I'm saying is it better not come to that.
Peter, that is a great point. And when you throw on top of it the money they gave to Todd Gurley a year earlier, millions and millions, millions upon millions of Stan Kroenke's money gone forever. And something occurred to me as you were making that excellent point. When they did the trade, and it's not official yet, it could still in theory fall apart, but it likely won't, most likely, undoubtedly won't. The Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff, 2 1s and a 3 going to the Lions. That transaction allowed the Rams to gloss over the Brock Osweiler hot potato element of that deal. And I spoke to a general manager right after that deal was leaked, announced, whatever, and we came to a loose conclusion that it was a 1 and a 3 for Stafford and a 1 given up to the Lions to take the awful Jared Goff contract off the books. And by doing it in one transaction, it wasn't as obvious as the Osweiler deal, right? It's, okay, well, Matthew Stafford, 2 1s and a 3, franchise quarterback. I wonder how much of that was aimed at keeping Stan Kroenke from figuring out that they gave up a first-round pick to get that horrible contract off the books.
Well, look, Mike, when I look at this trade, I look at it a little bit differently because, look, Brad Holmes is not doing that trade, the new general manager of the Lions. He's not doing that trade if he believes that Jared Goff is unfixable. I believe he just would not have done it. He might have traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams, but he would have taken one of his other players that he has drafted there as a director of college scouting. But he believes, and I'm told Dan Campbell has watched tape, and also believes that Jared Goff is fixable. And so why not take a couple of years and take this quarterback and see if you can fix him? And at the end of a couple of years, if you can't, you basically say no harm, no foul. We gave it a go, and we got 2 wins out of it. So that is a risk well worth taking.
Just amazing to think that Holmes with the Rams, with Les Snead as the GM, Sean McVay as the head coach, there would be such a different viewpoint on Jared Goff, where the Rams couldn't wait to get rid of him after the season ended, and that Holmes looks at him as a guy that they welcome to Detroit. Now, it's not like they were going to convince Matthew Stafford to stick around. He was ready to go, and they let him go. I mean, Stafford would be right there with Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson now if the Lions hadn't been so willing to accommodate his request to get out of Detroit after 12 seasons. But, I guess if you're not going to have Stafford, at least Goff is a known entity, and Holmes has seen the best of what Goff can do, and maybe they can get something better. You got to have a running game. You got to have a running game. You don't necessarily have to have Todd Gurley, but without Todd Gurley of 2017 and most of 2018, it was a different Jared Goff. And I think if the Lions can put that around Goff, they're going to need some receivers. They're going to need the running back. They need to keep Kenny Golladay. They're going to need to figure something out. But they could be better than we think they will be, and better than they've been in recent years.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.